They go for the Wind Shard, bringing my Ice Rider Calyrex down to 260. But I think at this point, we're going to try and punish that play. How's it going, Shuffle Squad YouTube channel? My name is PrimeTimeWizard TV. And today, well, we're bringing something pretty cool, to be honest, and something that you can definitely ride to a couple of victories on the ladder. And that, of course, is Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX. Yes, this very, very powerful and efficient Pokemon VMAX has been seeing some success lately in the online tournament scene, to be honest. And of course, we have to give credit to the innovation of this deck to a good friend of the Shuffle Squad, Frank Perchich. But of course, Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX, I think, just hits all the great numbers and in all the right ways, to be honest. And I think it's probably one of the smoothest ways to be able to get a big one-hit knockout on an opposing VSTAR. And I'm so excited to see if we can make that happen today. But of course, before that, if you like what you saw, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get notified when new videos do come out. With that, let's go ahead and check out the deck list. All right, this is the deck we're going to be bringing here today. It's going to be, of course, the Ice Rider Calyrex. This is going to be our main attacker today. Real quick though, Ice Rider Calyrex V has a good first attack, 40 damage pierce, just in case we want to hit something a little bit early and maybe soften something up for the VMAX to clear out later on, because the Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX does have two pretty good attacks. With Rite of the High King, you do 10 plus 30 for each of your opponent's bench. This is a good way to really knock out a single prize deck. For example, they do like to go wide, or in case we don't really get the big one-hit knockout with Max Lance, this is a good way to just soften something up for sure. But of course, the main attack here is going to be the Max Lance for 10 plus, 120 for each water energy you discard. And we basically hit 250 by discarding 2 water energies, 280 with the Choice Belt, pretty much knocks out any Pokemon VSTAR in the game, and that is going to be the name of the game for sure. We're supporting this. There are multiple ways to play this deck. I've seen Bibarel is a very popular option. I'm choosing to go with the Inteleon line just to really hit our one-offs, as well as really get a secondary attacker in Inteleon, just to really deal with Miltanks for sure, because Aqua Bullet could come in clutch for sure, but of course we're playing it for the Shady Dealings ability that is on the Drizzile and the Inteleon. We're also playing one Manaphy just to protect the bench. We're playing a 1-1 Palkia line. This is very interesting because not only is it a very, very flexible card, with the Star Portal ability, we can power up an Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX without having to go through something like a Melony, and or we could. It's also a secondary attacker. Can you imagine having to force your opponent to knock out a VMAX followed by a VSTAR and then another VMAX? Definitely a pain for sure. And of course, Palkia VSTAR, just probably the most powerful card in the format right now. It's just great support here as well, because it can even power up something like the Inteleon or this Radiant Greninja, which we are using, of course, for the Concealed Cards ability, just to added draw support, but also has a meaningful attack in Moonlight Shuriken, where we can do 90 damage to 2 of your opponent's Pokemon. This could either soften your opponent's VMAXs, for example, or take some cheeky 2 prize knockouts on your opponent who's still setting up their field for sure. I think Radiant Greninja, all these decks coming together are really, really good, to be honest. Like, the water support for this current format has been absolutely amazing. That's why Palkia VSTAR by itself is one of the most popular decks in format. And again, these Pokemon are supported by a multitude of items like Capacious Bucket, great way to get energy from the deck. We're playing 1 Escape Rope for our ball searches. We're playing 3 Evolution Incense, 1 Hisuian Heavy Ball, 3 Level Balls, 4 Quick Balls, and 1 Ultra Ball. A lot of ways to really get any of our Pokemon out. And with the Inteleon engine, I think this is just one of the most consistent decks to play at the moment. Playing 1 Pal Pad to get back a lot of our single-use supporters for sure. Playing 3 Scoop Up Nets to really reuse the Inteleon line. We're playing 1 Tool Scrapper. This could come in clutch because Arceus right now is playing Big Charms, and 310 could be a pain to hit. So just a quick Tool Scrapper does fix the math there for sure. For our stadium lineup, we're playing 2 Path of Peak. Again, one of the most powerful stadiums there is, just shutting off abilities, as well as one Temple of Sinnoh, just because we aren't playing any special energies and we are in a pretty heavy special energy format. You never know, this could come in clutch for sure. For our supporter lineup, we're only playing one boss's orders. We could bump this up to 2, maybe drop something like another Melony potentially, but typically Ice Rider likes to deal with anything in the active, to be honest. And we do play the Pal Pad to get this back just in case. We're playing 2 Iridas. Great card, great water support card for sure. You get to search a water Pokemon as well as an item card. Great way to set up. We're playing 1 Marnie, 3 Melony. Again, Melony is going to be the main way to really power up Ice Rider Calyrex once we use the attack. Playing 1 Professor's Research, 1 Raihan, and 1 Roxanne. Again, Research just to refill the hand. Raihan, just in case our active does get knocked out. Another way to get energy from the discard pile. And Roxanne, just a powerful card. Once 1 Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX goes down, we can Roxanne the opponent there. Again, we were playing a lot of one-of supporters, but again, we're playing the Inteleon engine, so we should have access to all of them, and we can even Pal Pad some stuff back. We're playing 2 Choice Belt. Again, this is a very important card to get to those big 280 number, and we're playing 7 water energy to round out the deck. I think this is honestly, despite the multitude of one-offs, is a very smooth deck to play. Let's see if we can get some wins. All right, we have another game on our hands. Let's see if we can win the coin flip. Luckily, we do. That means we get the first Pokemon down, potentially the first attack off as well. We do get the Ice Rider Calyrex right off the bat. No energy just yet, but we do have Melony, a couple of Drizziles to work with too. We have a Quick Ball, so we do have guaranteed 1 Sobble at least. And yeah, all right, let's see here. I think we're going to have to use this Quick Ball here to discard the boss's orders. Grab ourselves the Sobble. And honestly, I think that's it. That's all we have to work with. But I think that is a-okay. Let's see what our opponent is playing. They play a Sobble themselves here. And the water energy, this could be an Arceus Inteleon or potentially a Palkia here. We grab a second Sobble. Not quite sure yet what they're playing. Again, the Inteleon engine, just a very popular engine for sure. They discard a Manaphy there. Let's see what they get. Luckily, with this hand, we do have an attack next turn, which is pretty nice. Again, this deck is so smooth. It doesn't need too much, really. Grabbing a Mew there. Okay, so this could be either something like the Radiant Charizard deck, like just Radiant Charizard Inteleon, or maybe a Palkia list. We'll have to see here. We'll go ahead and just use this Drizzile to grab ourselves a Capacious Bucket. Capacious Bucket gets us 2 energies. Grab those 2 energies there. Go for an Ultra Ball. We'll Ultra Ball away the Irida and the water energy. Grabbing the Ice Rider VMAX. All right, we'll go ahead and use this Melony. Draw 3 cards. Next hand is looking good. To be honest, we'll drop the Ice Rider here. We are doing 70 damage with Ride of the High King, and I think we're going to do just exactly that. We'll use this Level Ball. Just grab another Sobble into play. I'd like to get the Palkia into play, to be honest. Maybe we could take a cheeky double knockout. But I don't think there's a way we can do that. We'll just drop the Ice Rider because I'm not quite sure what we're playing against yet. I don't think they can take a knockout on a VMAX, but just to be safe, we'll drop it anyway. We'll go ahead and Ride of the High King here for the knockout. Taking the first prize of the game. Not too bad. There's a Radiant Greninja. Looks like it was prized there. Glad to get it out of the deck. They go for the Mysterious Tail here. Let's see what they grab. They have to grab another Pokemon, because if they don't, we do win. Oh, we can't win with the Radiant Greninja because we don't have the Palkia set up just yet. Grabbing a Snorlax. Okay, that is making me believe we are playing against the Charizard deck. They play the Raihan here, attaching to the Mew. This could be tricky. I mean, we're only going to be taking one prize knockouts while they are taking multiple prizes, potentially even 3. But luckily, Ice Rider Calyrex is out of range for something like a Charizard. They're going to have to try and weaken it with something like... Oh, there's a Radiant Charizard himself. They're going to have to try and weaken it with something like the Rowlet, potentially. They evolve there into the Drizzile. They go for the Shady Dealings. They are going to be able to use Mysterious Tail, just retreat to the Snorlax as well. I think they are setting themselves up pretty nicely. All right, let's see what we can do here. Hand is not looking too great. Let's see here. Let's see if we can heavy ball. Let's see if there's anything useful in the prizes. Looks like nothing just yet. We don't even have the knockout here, right? With Ride the Hiking, we're doing 30, 60, 30, 60, 90, 100. So we're gonna have to use Max Lance. Luckily, 1 energy discard is enough. From here, I think I'm gonna go ahead and Irida ourselves the Palkia, as well as another Cap Bucket. Not opposed to that. We can go wide here, which is nice. I can just go ahead and use Capacious Bucket. Since we're not playing against Palkia, I can go wide. We'll drop the Radiant Greninja. We'll draw 2 extra cards with the Radiant Greninja. I'm glad they dropped the Manaphy as well, so we can take a multi-prize turn potentially. I will... We'll attach to... Let's see here. Let's attach to the Calyrex. They're gonna attack us with a Charizard. Do we just let them? Is the next question here. I think I'll attach it to the active. Because either way, I think we're going to have to manually retreat the active Ice Rider. We'll go ahead and use this Drizzile here. And we'll pick up... Yeah, we discarded the boss's orders again, which isn't too great. So in that case, I will pick up the Pal Pad. Just to put the boss's orders back into the deck. Put back the Irida as well. Go ahead and use Max Lance here, just discarding 1 energy to do 130, taking a knockout on the Snorlax. We go down to 4 prizes. Not too bad. Getting a Temple of Sinnoh, that doesn't quite matter, I think. Let's see what they decide to attack with here. They do evolve into the big Inteleon here. With the big Inteleon, they could grab something like a Raihan and a Twin. With Raihan and a Twin, they do have an attack. And again, 250 damage on my Ice Rider isn't something I do not want to see. But they also have to set up multiple other Sobbles, right? This is their last search. Unless they set up multiple other Sobbles, we'll have to see what they get. Having the Mew just as in the active is great. They have to find it something like an air balloon just to make it the perfect pivoting Pokemon for sure. But let's see what they grab here. Again, the Radiant Charizard deck definitely needs to play a lot, to do a lot of things to be able to get the Combustion Blast off back to back, which sometimes is a little tough, especially when you're not entirely set up with Sobbles. We have to see what they grab here. Bird Keeper and a Raihan. They drop a Sobble. Wouldn't be surprised if they just grab the Rowlet here. Yeah, there it is. Again, they can soften us up with the Rowlet because they aren't taking a knockout with the Radiant Charizard anyway. I really, really like this play. It forces my hand for sure to maybe retreat into something like the Radiant Greninja at this point. All right, yeah, they scoop up net the Inteleon, dropping a Sobble. They put a Choice Belt onto the Radiant Charizard. They have the attachment for turn. They're going to go ahead and Bird Keeper here. I really, really like this play. They go for the Wind Shard, bringing my Ice Rider Calyrex down to 260. But I think at this point, we're going to try and punish that play. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and try an Evolution Incense here. We'll grab ourselves the Shady Dealing Inteleon. With the Shady Dealings Inteleon, let's grab something like the Scoop Up Net and the Irida. Luckily, we did put back an Irida in play. Unfortunately, we don't have any more buckets. Yeah, we'll grab those two. We'll go ahead and play the Irida. Grabbing the Palkia VSTAR as well as... Actually, we don't need anything else. Potentially... Oh, they didn't even put damage onto the active Ice Rider. That isn't... I was thinking they put damage onto the active. I don't think they can knock out the Ice Rider now. So in that case, I should have gone for something like a Boss's Orders instead. Just make it a little bit tougher for them to really attack with that Charizard. But we'll grab this as well as the Tool Scrapper. Maybe just discard the Tool Scrapper here. So what I was thinking of doing here was I wanted to take out both their Sobbles. I think that's still what I'm gonna do, just because it's very, very interesting. Because if we take out both their Sobbles, we take out all of their search, right? And that could definitely put them in a tough predicament. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and pick up the Inteleon so we have access to that next turn. We'll drop the Sobble. We are going to retreat into the Radiant Greninja. It's a very risky play. It's a very, very risky play for sure. But I think it's definitely worth it to get rid of their entire search engine, right? They should struggle a little bit here. We know for a fact they have a Raihan, so they can attack potentially. But yeah, I definitely do want to try and just take out both their Sobbles right here, right now. Maybe after this, they will struggle with just getting Charizards into play. And this is like the perfect opportunity to take 2 prizes. The only thing that is concerning is we don't have any energy in play, but with the top deck there from the prizes, that pretty much secures we have an attack next turn because we can Drizzile into something like a Melony or even Raihan potentially. And we could just, again, just go into the Ice Rider, and Ice Rider should be fairly safe because Radiant Charizard maxes out at 280. But even if they knock out here back to back, we are just so ahead in prizes. Like, even if they knock out our Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX potentially, as long as we can keep going Drizzile, Melony, and attach, we should be good here. They go for the Energy Search, grabbing a Fire Energy. And again, this is why I love the Palkia VSTAR in something like this. You can do flexible plays just like what we just did just there. But again, it was a little bit risky, especially since we didn't have the energy attachment. But this deck is known to pretty much get an attack off out of nowhere, thanks to the multitude of Melonies and Raihans we play. They go for the Clara here, that pretty much guarantees that we get to keep whatever is in our hand. And I'm not opposed to this play too, where they just grab themselves the Sobble and the Manaphy here. They play the Scoop Up Net. They are going to get the attack off. Again, maybe the Manaphy a little bit too late here. I don't have any other bench attackers. We'll go ahead and go into the Ice Rider Calyrex. We will play the Drizzile here. With Drizzile, I do want to just grab the Raihan instead of the Melony, because this is pretty much our opportunity to guarantee all we need is energy, right? We'll go ahead and use the Raihan here. We'll Raihan into the Ice Rider. We'll grab another energy, just hold it in hand, to be honest. We'll attach. We will use the Quick Ball on the Quick Ball. Yeah, that should be a-okay. Grab ourselves another Sobble just to guarantee that we have Drizzile Inteleon active for the next turn. And we'll even Path of the Peak here, shutting off Radiant Charizard. And I believe Ride of the High King should be enough to take a knockout on the Radiant Charizard. We don't have to discard any energy, which is great. And we go down to 1. They are in a very, very bad position here because, again, even if they take a knockout somehow on the Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX, we have multiple Drizzile and Sobbles ready to go. And all we have to do is grab a Melony and attach, and we should be good here. We have game in hand. We have game on field. They have to find a way to get knockout as well as disrupt our hand. And I think Clara is not going to be enough there. 280. Again, it's lacking 40 damage. I can't find a way for them to do 40 damage. Maybe Zigzagoon with 3 Scoop Up Nets. But even if they do that, again, we have knockout in hand. You're getting the Clara. Clara is a good way to just get back the Radiant Charizard. I'm surprised they didn't grab themselves another Sobble. They have the attachment here. They play the Escape Rope. I'm just going to go ahead and give them the Drizzile. And yes, they're doing 250. But again, we had game on board. We had game in hand. I think we just put them in a very, very tough situation for sure. Yeah, well played to my opponent. Again, that is the beauty sometimes of just having a big attacker like a VMAX. We just get to attach here to the Drizzile. Go ahead and retreat to the Ice Rider and just close it off. Again, we hit it for weakness. We'll go ahead and Ride of the High King here. That should be enough. And good game to my opponent. All right, and that was Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX. I think the deck, again, is just so smooth to play. A VMAX that only needs 2 energies to hit the right numbers. To hit 250 with a Choice Belt 280, I think is in a great position, especially it's a water type. There's so many water support, and it's playing the right engine. Playing something like the Inteleon makes it really easy to grab the key pieces you're missing to get those big one-hit knockouts. I definitely recommend this deck to play. I think it's just so smooth. As long as you hit the right matchups for sure, you can do great. I think you may struggle against something like a Mew VMAX because you don't quite hit the VMAX numbers. You are playing something like Marnie and Pat, so there is counterplay there. You could tech in something like a Leon to maybe hit 310 for sure. You also don't want to hit something like the Dialga just because they can hit you for weakness, but it's not unwinnable for sure. We can put in a lot of pressure very, very early. Again, I think this is positioned great in the current meta. I think it can do well against something like the Arceus Inteleon or even something like Palkia, which I think are the best decks at the moment. So I definitely recommend you picking up this deck, just giving it, just trying it out in the ladder for sure, maybe bring it in some limitless tournaments. And yeah, again, guys, if you like what you saw, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get notified when new videos do come out. Again, my name is PrimeTimeWizard TV. I'll see you all in the next video.